de boa, assim, mais tranquilo, né?
Sabe um bagulho, um conteúdo que eu queria ver algum brasileiro, talvez faça, mas eu não conheço. Eu tava vendo outro dia lá eu esqueci o nome do canal, acho que é Slow Mo Guys.
Sim.
Os caras eles pegaram um ovo, aí botavam um ovo aqui assim num bagulho, aí tinha uma arma e eles tinham um aparato que ia fazer aquela arma disparar, dar o tiro no ovo, e o ovo naturalmente se desmancha e eles filmam aquilo em câmera lentíssima.
É satisfatória, né?
Muito, mas assim, eles vão... começa mostrando normal, tu vê, cara, tá, estourou o ovo. Aí depois, 2 vezes mais lenta.
Caramba.
E vai ficando muito lento pra caralho.
Well, you probably wouldn't be looking at eggs.
Look at that. It's so slow. Getting bored.
I never
I'm getting bored.
I never thought watching a bullet go through the screen would be like watching paint dry.
Just let me know when it's there.
That says so much about this, that it can make bullets too slow. I love it.
Is it there yet?
It's almost there.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
All right. Oh, you called me too early.
Sorry, here we go.
Whoop.
Wow. Just like slowly goes in. There's so much time separation between.
Não teve algum que tu sentiu perigo? Tipo, caralho, isso aqui é perigoso de fazer.
Cara, teve alguns. Eu tinha muito receio quando eu tava mexendo com algum metal pesado. Mercúrio, essas coisas assim, porque é muito tóxico. Tá? Vapor de mercúrio, essas coisas assim, é muito perigoso. Chumbo e etc. assim. Então, esses vídeos eu tomava muito cuidado, sempre com equipamento de segurança real, assim mesmo. Mas eu acho que de medo de vídeo, assim, é incrível, né? Que você se ferra com os que você não tem medo.
Sim.
Porque
Você relaxa, faz sentido.
Baixa a guarda.
Eu assim, é da minha área, metalurgia, coisa assim. Todas as vezes que eu me machuquei, foi com vídeo de metal derretido, de derreter coisa. Assim, que eu me machuquei de verdade, né? Então, assim, quando era alguma coisa que não estava tanto na minha área de conforto, eu acabava tomando muito mais cuidado.
Mas esses são os mais maneiros de fazer?
São. Se o YouTube deixasse de fazer, são, cara. Real mesmo, sim, são. Porque é um efeito visual muito da hora. É muito legal, assim, né? Você tem uma grandeza no conteúdo que não tem como se alcançar com coisas mais de boa, assim, mais tranquilo, né?
Sabe um bagulho, um conteúdo que eu queria ver algum brasileiro, talvez faça, mas eu não conheço. Eu tava vendo outro dia lá eu esqueci o nome do canal, acho que é Slow Mo Guys.
Sim.
Os caras eles pegaram um ovo, aí botavam um ovo aqui assim num bagulho, aí tinha uma arma, um calibre grosso até, um projétil sinistro, que eles ficava fixo num lugar e eles tinham um aparato que ia fazer aquela arma disparar, dar o tiro no ovo, e o ovo naturalmente se desmancha e eles filmam aquilo em câmera lentíssima.
É satisfatória, né?
Muito, mas assim, eles vão... começa mostrando normal, tu vê, cara, tá, estourou o ovo. Aí depois, em câmera lenta que a gente conhece. Aí vê o ovo quebrando, pá. Aí depois, 2 vezes mais lenta.
Caramba.
E vai ficando muito lento pra caralho, que até umas câmeras que até o campo de visão delas é diferente. Porque pra pegar só aquilo ali, não sei o quê. E caralho, é muito maneiro.
Isso do caralho, porque eu já vi, acho que nesse próprio canal, eles quebrando um vidro, que você bate no vidro, naturalmente ele se estilhaça. E quando os caras colocaram na super câmera lenta, tinha uma onda de impacto, o vidro retorcendo assim, redondo, fazendo assim, antes de quebrar. Você nunca ia imaginar que é assim, tá ligado?
O Barone chegou a comprar uma câmera super slow, né? Não lembro quantos FPS fazia, mas dava pra ver, por exemplo, um projétil. Você disparava, você conseguia ver o projétil indo assim. Só que, cara, esse é o que eu tô falando. A barreira pra você conseguir produzir esse conteúdo é infinita. Uma câmera dessas que os caras usam no final, que consegue filmar em pelo menos 1080p ali, é pra parada de assim, você vai pagar mais de $1 milhão.
Que
Caramba.
isso?
É caríssimo.
Não, é absurdo.
$1 milhão em uma câmera?
Acho que é uns $250 mil, assim, pra mais.
Meu Deus do céu! Eu sabia que era muito caro, mas é que isso daí tá ligado quando você pensa, é muito caro, é 50 mil reais. No fim é 700 mil reais. O quê?
É uma tecnologia muito específica,
mais...
sabe? Quantas pessoas vão comprar uma porra dessa?
É feita a mais barata que tem custa isso. Assim, o que o Barone tem, acho que é uns 25, 30 mil reais. Tá? Assim, então é um negócio que é extremamente complicado. E assim, a do Barone já é uma legalzinha, mas depende muito de iluminação, quando você vai pegar os FPS, sei lá, filmar a 60 mil FPS, você vai conseguir dar um slow legal, já fica recortado ali no 480p. Então, para você conseguir ter 60 mil FPS mais, 120 mil FPS mais, acho que esses caras têm até câmera de 200 mais até, nem sei qual que é o FPS que eles estão gravando hoje em dia. É caríssimo o equipamento, é caríssimo para conseguir gravar em qualidade boa. Então, assim, esse é um conteúdo... Eu até conheci esses caras pessoalmente.
É mesmo?
É, por isso que eu conversei com eles, perguntei, cara, pô, sei lá. Até dei ideia deles fazerem o que os caras estão fazendo aí hoje em dia, né? Dublando conteúdo, né? Mas é muito, muito caro.
É um absurdo mesmo isso daí.
Assim, e assim, o padrão de consumo brasileiro, você vai fazer isso aí, vai ser um nicho
Sabe
muito
que é maluco?
pequeno, cara.
Vocês estavam falando antes aí do AdSense dos caras lá, como é lá na gringa, né? 6 meses o cara paga essa porra.
Não é nem só isso, não é só o AdSense. O job lá é incrivelmente mais caro.
I'm Gav.
I'm Dan.
We're the Slow-Mo Guys. Today, we're revisiting a video that I did a few years ago. And by few, I mean 11.
That long ago?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's almost embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
Do you remember the video?
Yeah.
You weren't in it?
I wasn't in it. No. There was enough mugs in that video without me.
Hey, basically what I'd done is I printed different frame rates on different mugs just to show like a comparison of different frame rates. And it ended at 10,000 frames a second.
I think technology's come on quite a bit.
In 11 years, we've made some advances in frame rate. So we'll be starting at 10,000 in this one. And today, we're not smashing mugs, we're shooting eggs. So we're here at a firing range in the middle of nowhere where it's safe to fire a 9mm bullet through some eggs.
Yeah. These are the whitest eggs I've ever seen. They look like my butt in the winter. Except less hairy.
All right, let's get cracking.
Literally, I like it.
This is the Phantom TMX 7510. It's appeared on the channel before. The current fastest Phantom in the world. 10,000 frames a second. Egg is downrange. We're set for 10,000 frames. 5 microsecond exposure. Typically you want to be 10 or below for a sharp bullet. And this is not the fastest bullet in the world, so we should be fine at 5.
Loading. Made ready. Aiming.
Egg bloody went.
Just disappeared.
For reference, this normal speed camera is recording at 50 frames a second, and it didn't even see the bullet. It was in and out in less than a 50th of a second. Not visible on a single frame.
Just gone. See ya.
How sharp is the bullet though?
Pretty sharp, pretty nice. It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely motion blur still.
I'm surprised at how much of the eggshell stayed intact. Maybe it was just too quick for it to even break, you know?
What I'm excited to see at the higher frame rates is the tiny, you see on the entrance wound and the exit wound is the tiny pieces of shell that are all like of a similar size. I think that's gonna be really interesting when...
Oh yeah, that is cool.
All right, let's not waste too much time at the lower frame rates. Let's get up there.
Let's not mess about.
I'm just gonna double, but let's just go straight to 50,000 on this one. It's hard to write on an egg.
You've got excellent handwriting.
Thanks, B.
Mine's shocking, actually. It's so bad.
Mine's really bad too.
I haven't had to write anything for years.
Everyone always told me I should be a doctor because I've got rubbish handwriting.
Everyone always told me I should be a doctor, and then they realised I was an idiot.
But not when it comes to weapons.
Yeah, it's gradually taken up more of the shooting time that we have, the higher frame rate we go.
Ooh, look at the spin. You definitely see the rifling.
Oh, you do. We didn't notice that before, did we?
No, 10,000 wasn't fast enough to see that rifling clearly. But look at that. That is
straight through.
Perfect.
It was tumbling as soon as it came out the egg there. Just an eggshell.
That means we should probably, at the end of this then, see how many eggs it can get through.
It'd just be doing backflips through the eggs. I wonder if it's slowed it down any as well.
Oh, it must have.
Yeah.
I keep leaning on this as if I'm expecting it not to be covered in egg. Okay, doubling. 100,000.
My gran used to sort of try and hatch chickens, and she used to give the eggs a kiss as like a good luck. But actually, all that does is impart bacteria onto the eggshell, which then goes into the actual egg itself, because they're not, they're porous.
Ah, so don't suck on eggs. You were teaching your gran to not suck on eggs.
I wasn't teaching her, she just did what she wanted.
Okay, I've lowered the vertical resolution to 576. No longer at 720p, a bit narrower. We're now at 100,000 frames a second.
Made ready. Oh, this egg on my leg.
Love videos like this. It's just absolutely what cameras like this are for.
So slow now. Ooh. Straight through. I feel like that egg got shattered more. Maybe
it was just slightly more frontal. It was just more closer towards the camera.
I don't know, maybe?
And then as the egg clears here, you can see like an upward splash of egg. You see that?
Yeah, the overpressure of the egg. And that's what got me, is the egg from the cup must have flung round and hit my leg.
Yeah.
And then just span like loads of yolk on my leg. Yeah. There you go, that's the egg that's on my leg. I can't get enough of saying that.
Yeah, you love it.
What? Oh, it's the
shockwave.
The shockwave. Oh. Wow.
That is fast. That's going to be really... I wonder if that was visible on the frontal, because it is casting a shadow. You see like the air is like a different density, that the light is like
it's
refracted.
Like bending through, yeah.
So there's actually a shadow from the nothing.
You know, the larger the frame rate goes, you're going to run out of egg room.
It's true. I'm going to have to turn my font size down. Okay, 200,000 frames a second. Vertical resolution is now 256. It's a long slit of a frame. Exposure time, 2.5 microseconds.
Not long.
That's 2.5 millionths of a second.
Whoa. Oh, that's so
That
slow.
is leisurely.
It's just carrying a bit of egg on it.
I wonder if that eggshell's spinning or whether it's just pasted to the front.
Shockwave, bouncy shockwave. You can see the shape of the bullet better now. You see it's got like a concave back to it.
You can see all the turbulent airflow behind the bullet too, and the air around the back of the bullet is now being pulled in to fill that void, so it's sort of sucking egg into the trail of the bullet.
Look at the like tiny pieces of shell that come out there. Misted.
That is a nice frame rate for a 9mm.
And that's a slow bullet too.
Yeah. Wow. That is so cool. 400,000.
That's your neatest one yet.
So we've gone from basically this as our resolution.
Yep.
To this flip, which means I've had to pull the phantom back, which is giving us like this.
You've gone like 5 feet back at least.
Yeah.
By 1,000,000 frames a second, you'll be in the next town.
I'll be, Georgetown.
Yeah.
Our exposure time is now 1.25 microseconds. Ooh.
Oh, that is a gnat's bollock of framing there, isn't it? Here we come. So slow.
There's like a little puff of mist that happens on impact that comes back. I think it comes back like faster than the bullets move.
It does. By the time the bullet's in the egg, it's already past the back of the bullet.
It's stolen a bit of egg again.
I bet there's some eggshell in the sand dune over there.
Wow. Good shot. It's not easy to keep the bullet in frame the entire way. It's interesting how many shadows from shockwaves we're seeing. Typically you get one from the expansion of gas coming out of the front of the barrel, and then a second one as the bullet comes out. And I'm not 100% sure, but we could possibly be seeing one of those shockwaves for a second time as it bounces off the table. All right, I'm gonna have to change lens here because this is a f2.8, which won't do it for us when we're sub-microsecond exposure time. B, can you just hold your hand over the sensor?
Yeah, bear with me.
Switching to a slightly wider prime. Benefit of a lens that doesn't zoom is that typically a wider aperture.
Good bit of knowledge.
Eh?
Good bit of knowledge, that.
Yeah?
Yeah, didn't know that. Are you writing extra big now?
Well, the resolution's so low that I'm trying to make it legible, and you gotta think like each letter's only gonna be like 10 pixels high. Look at this. Look at this framing. What?
Right, to keep it in, I'm gonna have to shoot perfectly flat.
Should we come back in and just do like a
No,
close-up?
no, that's fine.
Well, aside from when we went to Caltech and shot at 10 trillion frames a second, this is now the fastest we've filmed using phantoms. 800,000 frames a second with an exposure time lower than a microsecond. That is 625 nanoseconds for an exposure. And it's just a tiny slit. So this will be very interesting. This should actually be too slow for this bullet. Resolution 1280 by 64. What a shot.
Is it perfectly through?
You nailed that. A little bit of muzzle flash too.
Look at it. Here it comes. Oh. Let's take a look. It's in the egg still. Just sort of breezed past it that time. Oh no, it is tumbling. You see, look.
It's got a bit of wobble to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That is so immensely slow.
I wouldn't say it was tumbling, but it's definitely wobbling on its sort of axis.
I mean, that's definitely, we're now beyond useful speeds.
Yeah.
But you know, this thing could do 1 million.
And it's a nice round number, isn't it?
1 million is a nice number. So, oh, you've got a new egg there. That was well confusing. I was like, why won't it go live? So I said in the intro that it'll do 1 million in black and white. And I say that because shooting 1 million non-black and white gives you a height of 32 pixels, which is pretty...
You're not going to see much, are you?
Okay, here's a brief explanation of the pixel binning feature of this camera. It will change how the sensor operates and use 4 pixels as 1. So it'll take a 2x2 grid of pixels, treat it as 1, which effectively reduces the horizontal resolution by half, so we're now at 640, but because it's a 2x2 grid, we're still using the entire width of the sensor. The vertical resolution can also be the equivalent of 128 pixels high, once again in a 2x2 grid, giving us a complete resolution of 640 by 64, but at the same aspect ratio as 1280 by 128. This mode ditches all color information but increases the sensitivity on the sensor, so now we need less light for shooting at such short duration exposures. We're basically at the same aspect ratio that we were when we were shooting at 400,000 frames a second, but we can now go 1 million and above. So a slight trade-off, but a much more usable image.
It says bin off on the camera. It just says bin off. It just makes me think, I thought it was like delete.
So now look what it's done.
Off.
Look what it's done.
Wow.
I've got much more height. Okay, 1 mf /s, 1 million frames a second, 500 nanosecond exposure time, 640 by 64, and you can see that it's a taller image than before, even though we're shooting faster. There is now no color, of course. And actually, a nicely exposed egg.
I think it actually hits home harder writing the word million, though. I think it has more of an effect.
1 million frames a second. I almost said in 4K, but it's not even close. It's not even close. One day, though, we'll redo this when we can do 1 million frames a second in 4K.
Yeah, that'll be when the sun starts dying and expanding and getting brighter.
Interestingly, of all the bullet hits that our normal speed camera captured today, this is the only clip where a single frame of bullet is visible. This blurred streak.
Safe!
Cheers!
God, you can see the pixels.
Yeah. There's not many.
No.
But think about it, this is like a science research camera. You could learn a lot from this footage. It's not necessarily broadcast quality, but...
About eggs?
Well, you probably wouldn't be looking at eggs.
Look at that. It's so slow. I'm getting bored. I'm getting bored.
I never thought watching a bullet go through the screen would be like watching paint dry.
Just let me know when it's there.
That says so much about this, that it can make bullets too slow. I love it.
Is it there yet?
It's almost there.
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
All right. Oh, you called me too early.
Sorry, here we go.
Whoop.
Wow. Just like slowly goes in. There's so much time separation between the impact and when it sort of spews stuff out backwards. We filmed so slow that we got several seconds there where the bullet was inside the egg.
Several seconds?
I think at 10,000 it was in there for about a frame.
Yeah, if that.
I mean, this is slower by a factor of 100.
Then 10,000, yeah. God, yeah, it's still slightly yours. isn't it?
Usually I'm like 100 times slower than real time. It's 100 times slower than 10,000. There we go.
Very impressive.
All right, lastly, I thought we could have 5. Firstly, just to see if the bullet will even stay straight and go through 5 eggs. And also, I feel like in descending order, I'll write the different frame rates and then in post, change to those speeds. And I figured we'd start with the highest frame rate because by the time it's here, if it gets here, the bullet will be slower anyway. So if it's 10 here, that's probably fine if the bullet's really slow at that point.
I like it.
So we'll do 4, 2, 1, 50, 10. These were thousands, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 100,000.
100,000, yeah, okay.
Based on the tumblage, I think we'll struggle to hit all 5 eggs.
You think?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, after one it does tumble, but there's still a hell of a lot of power and speed going behind it, so...
Some confidence.
Yeah, I think it'll get through 5.
All right.
Yeah. No. Never.
Where'd it go? Did it go high?
It's hard to say. Maybe I just missed.
Or maybe it just went like behind or up.
Yeah, potentially.
It's just the fact there's nothing of the first 4.
Nothing of the first 4, not a scratch.
Well, you know what then? I think that egg deserves to live.
Okay. I'll keep it separate from the rest.
Wow.
It's got its cousin's blood on its...
Well, there's no need to get dark with it. They're unfertilised. There wasn't a chicken in there.
That's true.
Bullets coming in nice and slow at 400.
4 hundos. Oh, it might have gone high.
Pretty
but
good hit there.
it looks like it's in the right
Straight into 200.
area. Oh, it's yours so much.
Coming into 1,000 almost sideways.
It's just going to clip the top of that one.
Ooh. Hit the back of 50 and just glanced over the top of 10.
That egg is just like sweating profusely.
Look at the tumble at the end.
It's because, like, you know when you go on like a, say for instance you have your hand outside the window.
Yeah,
and it does that. Like the air, like it's the same with the egg. Like the moisture in the egg is pushing it further and further, so it misses the last one.
Well, that's class. All right, now let's take a look at that at the respective speeds. Well, I thought that was some really interesting looking footage. It was honestly fascinating to learn the speed where this type of bullet becomes almost leisurely in how long it takes to go across the frame. Because we film most of our stuff, 1,000 with the other camera and, maybe like 25,000 or 28,000 on the other one. But it's interesting to be up in the hundreds of thousands and actually slow a bullet all the way down and think, well, that's the perfect speed for a bullet. Any slower, boring.
Yeah, it gets boring after you hit a mill, gets a bit boring.
It takes forever.
Yeah, it's also nice because we were doing this experiment. It illustrates the different frame rates perfectly because each time I fire the gun, the bullets are within a certain tolerance, going about the same speed when they come out. So it's nice to illustrate. Here's your hero egg.
Thank you. 10,000 frames a second survives. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, make sure you subscribe. That's a good catch.
Blood.
You didn't know I was going to do that.
No.
Oh, make sure you subscribe if you like slow-mo. Send it to a friend if they might find that interesting. And we'll see you next time for some more immensely slow footage.
Don't know what that was actually.
What was that? Do you want to keep that?
Yeah.
You're okay with that being in?
It's not. Well, look. Take it this way, right? People already know and think that I'm a complete tool nerd. Right? Me doing that isn't going to ruin my street cred. Do you know what I mean? It's not like people are like, oh, I thought he was cool before he did that.
We're already wearing lab coats in a quarry.
Look at the state of me.
Yeah.
Right? It's not hurting me to do that. So yeah, keep it.
Keep it in.
Keep it in.
It's in.
You're going to leave that in?
Yeah, might as well.